Recent statistics have left many 30-something-year-old women in a tailspin and men perplexed. We're talking about Australia's supposed man drought.
You know what? We don't want these women with unrealistic expectations to think they can run the world. They think that, you know, everything's got to come to them. You know, women have got to understand that, sure, we're happy to take you for who you are and all that kind of thing, but here's a big point. Perhaps leave all your baggage behind, leave your pain behind, and walk into these relationships open, happy, feminine, fun, because girls like that always find men.
You're always sort of telling women they've got to shape up and, you know, drop their expectations and be the best that they can and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How about men?
It's not that I'm saying that men don't have to do that as well.
I am really of the belief that from the age of 30, you are a completely different person from the age of 20.
Yep.
So why on earth would you be making these sort of decisions on who to marry at the age of 20?
No,
I just think it's ludicrous.
I'm not saying don't go in there with some sort of princess, I'm the best thing in the world expectations.
But the fact is they could be the best in the world, Nige. Why do we have to lower our expectations just because there are less men than women out there?
I'm not saying lower your expectations, but I'm still saying that anyone who is the best in the world is not going to have trouble finding a man.
Can a leopard change its spots? It appears many can, but for how long? We're talking players. What constitutes one? Can you change one?
Sometimes actually it's become even more attractive, okay? And they've later on admitted to me, they said one of the reasons I was attracted to you is because you're such a player and I love that.
Yeah, and that's kind of a mistake women can make, absolutely.
Well, it's not a mistake if
it's
they
not
hang
a
out with me. You know.
But equally, in that situation, Nige, they might be a bit smarter than what you think.
Right.
They might not be wanting to hang around for you for the relationship. They might be just using you for sex.
Well, I'm not going to have too many complaints about that.
He was probably just a sex addict, or probably is just a sex addict. And a lot of players are.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, getting off on that whole thing of going to bed with someone new all the time.
Now, Nige, you've written the book Around the World in 80 Babes.
Yep.
You'd have to be the biggest player that comes to mind. When Karen was describing those people that look for the next fix, that would have to be you.
If you don't have romance at all stages of your relationship, whether it's day one or, you know, 10 years down the line, then you're going to miss out.
Who says you need to take a woman out to dinner early on?
Well, who says you don't?
I don't think you need to.
Yeah, but you're teaching men not to take women out to dinner, and I really have something against that.
Why?
Because I like my dinners.
One of the interesting things about Generation Y is that they stay back in their parents' home a lot longer. So it's a bit hard to be romantic when your parents are around in the next room.
What they're doing is so non-romantic. Yeah. You know, there's no actually asking them out. They're all just meeting up, right, in groups, and there's none of this, how about we go out?
We all have different ideas about what the perfect partner should be, but sometimes there's an energy about someone that draws your attention to them and pulls you in. We're talking attraction.
It's not fair that we're talking about it in terms of women being commodities, because they're not. We know women are fantastic.
I did hear you say on Nova 100 a few months ago that the reason there are so many single women is because they're overweight and unattractive.
Yeah.
Did you really say that?
He said that.
I can't even bear to comment on that because it's so outrageous. And what about all the overweight men who don't look after themselves and sit and watch sport and drink beer?
Look, let me tell you this.
Weekend?
I'm not saying that, you know, they're good either.
You find yourself in a relationship.
Really?
She's tall, just your type. She's blonde, blue-eyed.
Wow.
I know, you're a perfect woman. Charlize Theron.
Ooh. Geez, where do I meet her?
If men make all the right decisions, how come the world is the way that it is right now?
Women, on the other hand, okay, can make the exact opposite decision about the exact same issue depending on how their emotions are at that point in time. Okay? That's why the business world is still a masculine world, because that's where the best decisions are made.
Oh, come on, Nige. Some of the best managers are actually women.
Yeah, but guess what? They act masculine to do so.
Oh, that's right?
Some women, They act masculine to do so, and they're not found attractive by other men because they've got too many masculine traits.
There are a lot of very clever businesswomen that are brilliant managers.
I'm not denying that at all.
Then why can't they actually run a household if they can't do that in
Because they would need a feminine husband to make that work.
But what's wrong with just having a bit of equality in the household?
Yeah, because it just, in terms of masculine and feminine polarity, it just doesn't work.
Well, I think Nige is getting fantasising mixed up with visualising.
Oh, right.
I'm Danny Crees, and this is Single Rules.